Hi, I am showing up today even though it's later in the day. There's been a lot that has gone on. My kids are home for spring break. My youngest two are 13 and 10. So that can create a lot of noise and chaos and just busyness. I had to take one of them to the doctor real quick this morning. Then I had a therapy appointment this evening. So it's just been a lot going on. Like, I didn't accomplish a lot, but there's been a lot of emotional heaviness this week because of some things going on with my family. And I just wanted to be here and just share some of the things that can feel like the world or your life is trying to stop you from moving forward with your goals. And I don't know, just share my thoughts on it. For me, one thing that I have to work through is procrastination. I will do everything but the thing I need to do. I'm also a writer, so for me, I feel like the minute I sit down to write, all of a sudden the house needs to be cleaned. So a good way for me to clean the house is to actually plan to write, and then the house will be clean. So sometimes I do that with other things as well. And I think that when you're going through a lot, it's okay to do less. I know for me, that's kind of what I have to do. Like, I could sit here and beat myself up for barely doing any studying today. I've done a little bit of French and a little bit of biology. And I know that I could spend the next hour getting caught up, or I could work harder tomorrow. I know that I made a choice today to do less, which means I will have to do more tomorrow and the next day to finish my studies for the week. And, I kind of regret that decision, but also I can sit with it and realize that, there was probably a reason why I wasn't able to focus as much today, and that's okay. Like I said, there's been some kind of heaviness, and today during my therapy session, my therapist asked me a question that really had me thinking. We were talking about something kind of difficult. I am no contact with my mom for various reasons, and she is in the middle of a health crisis. That is a very difficult thing for me as her daughter to go through. I'm not making it about me, but just being outside of my family circle and just how that feels as a daughter who can't safely be part of a support team for her own mother. Honestly, it sucks. Like, I wish it wasn't this way. And there's not really anything I can do to change it, which is also sad. I tried for 40 some years of my life to be the daughter that I thought my mom needed. And now I realize I never could have been that for her. There was never a way to be what she wanted. I don't even know if she knew what she wanted from her only daughter. And, that's really hard. And also the fact that I feel there was an expectation for me that I could never live up to. I have 4 daughters, and I hope that they don't feel that from me, like that they have to be performative or earn my love and trust and care for them. I hope that they don't feel that. I know that no parent is perfect, and I know that we learn as we grow, and most people have children when they're pretty young, and maybe they haven't processed a lot of things. Maybe they don't know even what they're dealing with. And then as they get older, they're able to come to terms with maybe some trauma from their childhood and learn and grow and become a better person. I don't want to say better like a good or bad thing, but like a person who has more tools, who is more able to handle their life in a more, in a better way, whatever. So, that's a hard thing to come to terms with as an older mom, that I was very much still healing. I still am healing from my childhood when I became a mom. I was 18 when I had my first child. Like, what did I know? I didn't even know anything. I was barely out of my family of origin, like kind of ejected from my family because I was pregnant. And then I just had to kind of make my way in the world while having an infant and navigating a marriage at an early age, and like all of those things. And then what supports are any parents given in our country? Like, a lot of us are isolated from a strong sense of community. Maybe we live in a big city or a large town, and we don't have a sense of community. We don't have an older generation to really come around and teach us things and help us be the parent that we want to be, and even to set an example so we know what we're even looking to be. Like, I didn't have a good example of a parent. When I was growing up, I watched parents, the moms of my friends, and I had to piece together what kind of mom I would be, because I knew it wasn't going to be like the mom I had. So I had to look for guidance by seeing little snippets of how my friends' moms were with them, and kind of store that away as for my future. Like, this is what I want to do with my kids. This is what, a lot of what I learned was what I don't want to do, but I didn't learn a lot of what I want to do, like what to replace that with. So it was kind of a make it up as you go along. And I think, that's a reality for a lot of parents. You're making it up as you go along. They say like the first child is kind of the experimental child, and it's probably amazing they survived, because the parents are learning all of the things. I don't know where I've gone with this. Maybe I've gone way off the track, but I'm just thinking about mothers and daughters, my relationship, or lack of relationship with my mom, and just coming to terms with that now that, every year she's closer to the end of her life, and what that means for me, not being in contact with her. And if I ended things in a way that kind of finalized it. My therapist, the question she asked me was, do you feel like you owe your mother anything? And I instantly felt no, like felt it in my body, in my mind. I felt it completely. No, I don't. And that was a hard answer for me. I felt guilty having that answer. I don't know why. I don't know why. Do I owe her anything? I don't know. And I guess that's going to be a question I might explore for a few days, and that's okay. And if I think about it, if my daughters were asked that question, do you feel like you owe anything to your mom? I hope they would say no. I don't want them to feel like they owe me something. I really don't. I feel like as their mom, I owe them something. I owe them love, care, acceptance, presence, and showing up for them how they need, not them doing something for me. And maybe that's why I can honestly say no, that I don't feel like I owe my mom anything. Maybe the other question is, do I feel like she owes me anything? I don't know what the answer is. I feel like she probably gave me what she could, and she doesn't have anything else. So in that sense, I don't think she owes me anything. I accept the limitations she had. I continue to work on forgiveness and just trying to live in peace with who she is and who I am because of who she is, and with the potential that I still have because I'm still alive, and I can always continue to grow and learn and be true to myself And maybe that's what I've gotten from my relationship with my mother. I don't wish her ill. I wish her to be okay, to have comfort, to finish her life peacefully, maybe to grow in some kind of self-awareness and be at peace with herself, the world, what's coming for her after her life ends. I don't mean that in a bad way, but just that she can have peace with what is next, what her journey brings. And if that ever means that she could come to a place of some kind of reconciliation, you know, I would approach that at that time. But honestly, I don't feel like that's something I'll ever see in my life. And I've worked hard to be okay with that, to be okay with the fact that I may never talk to her again, see her again, and that's all right, because I don't think it's good for either of us, honestly, which is sad in itself. But I think at some point we have to like admit the truth and live in the truth. And it's okay to be that way. It's okay to be honest and live honestly. I think in some cases it's harder to show up honestly than to continue to make everything look perfect. So I'm going to choose honesty. Radical honesty can be a lonely place, can be a difficult place to live in. But it can also be a freeing space, because you're not performing for anyone. You are owning your own behavior and choosing how you want to show up in the world and the kind of people that you want to interact with and how you want to be treated. And all of those things are, I hope, good things. I could be wrong. And that's another thing, like living in radical honesty is also the willingness to be wrong, to learn, to change, to grow. So anyway, that was my snippet from today. This got longer than I thought it would. Yeah, but thanks for being here. I hope something I said was helpful in some way, and if not, then I don't know, maybe you just have a similar experience or relationship in your life, and it just, what I shared helps you feel seen and heard and understood, and like you're not the only one that is going through difficult relationships or things in life, because you're not. Like, there are so many of us in this world who is struggling with something. Everyone's struggling with something. And yeah, so I'm going to end it because I could just keep talking away, but I wish you peace and freedom and joy. Bye.